Shalom. Call hello, Yahweh Bashem Abishai, Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered, hopefully elect, that are scattered around, around the four corners of the earth, among the heathen nations that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. This is your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson. And I think we're going to label this one the hammer of the earth is broken. So let's go right to that scripture. This Jeremiah 50 and 23. Yeah, this is Jeremiah 50 and 23, and it reads, "How was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How was Babylon become a desolation among nations?" So it's referring the hammer of the earth to Babylon. And Babylon in the Bible tells you that the nation of Edom is there. All right, just like it tells you in the last lesson, I believe it talked about the house of David, that the house of David is going to possess the nation of Edom, which means they still exist. But today, I was watching the news and found out that people in New Jersey were advised not even to take the trains if they were crowded, to wait for the next one. Okay, the media is admitting, I wrote down some notes, is admitting the spread will heighten. They as a matter of fact, here in Chicago, they canceled the Irish parade and the one downtown, and the South Side, the Irish parade as well. All right, and then you have 3 schools in Lombard, which is a suburb here in Chicago. 8 schools in Lombard are on lockdown. All right, because the plagues from on high are upon Babylon, and Babylon will not be healed. All right, this is Jeremiah 49. Wow, right there. I'm on 50. I'm going to read 10 and 20. All right. I'm going to start at 10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." All right. It says, "Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, yet thy widows trust in me." So their women are turning against them and will trust in the Lord, will trust in the men of the Lord. All right, just like it says in Job 27 and 15, because even the Edomite woman is tired of the Edomite male. All right, they're tired of bearing the embarrassment and the shame of their race because of them. All right, and the treatment that they get because of them. And that's in Job 27 and 15, I believe. Matter of fact, let me just read it. Go to that. All right, because all the things that E is about to go through, he's going to have no support. See, the curses that came upon us, especially how the Judite woman came against the tribe of Judah, and now all the women of the tribe, for that matter, for the most part, they have to experience that, and according to the scriptures, they got to experience it double. This is Job 27 and 15. "Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep." So this women not even gonna cry for him. They're gonna latch on to the Israelite men. They're gonna latch on to their captors. Thus it is written. All right. Back to Jeremiah 49 and 20. "Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom and against his purpose, and he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their their habitations desolate with them. So Edom's habitats are going to be made desolate. All right, Babylon is going to be wiped completely off the earth. It's the only nation, the only place on the earth that's going to have no, because ancient Babylon, people are living there again. So we know that it's not talking about ancient Babylon. I think that's Iraq, around that area. That was ancient Babylon. It's inhabited full of people. This is talking about the new Babylon, which is synonymous with Edom, which means they're still around. That lie that they were done away with. You know, that was that Edomite lie pushed by Edomite Christians trying to hide who they were. Yeah, it says here, I wrote this down. Trying to hide the fact that they are Edom, Greek history through a microscope. All right. So when you look at it through the microscope, the brother from the GMS, the narrator. Why, man, it's pissing me off that I can't remember my beloved brother's name right now. I always have a problem with his name, but you know the brother, the beautiful brother down there in North Carolina. But he put up an old video, and I remember that video where they had taken down that information off the internet because I had to repost it. You know, I had to repost it on Maccabean Spirit and on my new channel. But the video basically shows you all the places today where Edom was today. It told you that Edom was synonymous with Rome. They became the Romans. It broke down all their history and where they dwell today. And all of North, South, Central America and Canada was lit up. This is where they were dwelling. Also all of Europe, Australia, and then there was that little blue dot in Israel. So we know that they know that they are the Edomites. Okay? Not Japhet. Japhet was a brown-skinned race of people, the original Greeks. You know, it's the same way the Edomites today call themselves Americans. They call themselves Britons. They call themselves Australians. Wherever they go, Germans, wherever they go, they refer to themselves as that landmass. All right? They call them, matter of fact, let's get that. That's that. Isaiah, or Psalms 49:11. I think that's Psalms. You know, they've been trying to hide and cover up who they were for generations, but now we're in the information age, and then everything that I'm saying, you can research it and find it for yourself. It's undeniable. And the sources that you're going to find it in are Edomite sources. That's the crazy part. And then they still try to deny what their forefathers, all the scholars before them, wrote. All right? This is Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations, and this is how they think. They call their lands after their own name. So basically, damn near every place on the planet was named by them, except for the few places that the Lord allowed the names to stay on them, and which was made it a reference for study to prove you know who was what and what was what. You know, like those rivers coming out of east of Eden. That's how we know where Israel was originally. Battery's low. I gotta try to finish this up. All right, but you know, this evidence. Matter of fact, I have a video called "Historical Evidence of E Will No Longer Be Ignored." If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest that you go and watch it. It's very condemning to them, and it's all factual information from their own sources. All right, but hey, depopulation has begun, man. You know, this plague, which is upon the whole world, they were downplaying it, which is really going to hurt Donald Trump, you know, because he tried to downplay it. But now the panic, the realization of what's going on is setting in. And then you know that line about the numbers. They say it's in 36 states, over 1,000 cases and 39 deaths or something like that, and it's probably triple that. I'm sure it's in every state by now. The deaths are probably in the thousands, way in the thousands, the tens of thousands at this point, or the infections. And then the deaths are in the thousands by now, I'm sure. All right. But yeah, that King Alfred program, Agenda 21, is in full swing. And the main targets for that is Jacob, man. They want to get rid of desirables, the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because on that list was the black Hebrew Israelites and the Hispanics. All right. Titles that they made up in the first place. Because there's no such thing as, I'm wearing a vest. All right. You know, it's a ski vest. There's no one that's this color. All right. No one's skin color is that color. I don't care how dark they are. Chocolate is brown. It's still brown. All right. But let's go to Matthew Matthew 24. All right, and 22. Yeah, this is Matthew 24 and 22, and it reads, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the elect are going to make it. They're going to be brought through the fire through this tribulation. It's going to be rough, man. And some of the elect, you know, will be martyrs. It's written. But yet they also are promised to be lifted up first, man. All right. You got those people on those boats. They're like in floating prisons, man. I think it's 6 or 7 boats that are floating off different coasts, you know, here in America. And these people in those coasts, those rooms, those cabins in those in those ships are almost as small as this little room that I'm sitting in, man. Right? And all you see is the 4 walls. You know, those people, they're like in prison right now, man. Let's go to the book of Mark. So that, you know, that woe and that destruction is upon Babylon, man. This is Mark 13, let's read 19 through 20. For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which God created unto this time, neither shall be. And hey, this is just the beginning of the you know, the tip of the iceberg. You know, you go to the iceberg, and no matter how mountainous it looks, when you go underwater, it is big. And so this thing is getting ready to be utter chaos in the streets of America, man. All right, they're losing so much money, events, gatherings. You know, there's a bunch of events coming up, competitions, and I don't think I want to compete, man. I was ready to get down, but it's like, hey, you know, it's funny, man. The Lord just really don't want me to be involved with my art in that aspect. Because it's like every time I get prepared to compete, something happens. Every time, man. All right? And it says, verse 20, and except that Yahweh has shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for his elect's sake, whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened those days, and time is speeding up. Everything is happening, man. And people are starting to panic. And the naysayers are starting to look like the fools, man. And the prophets, you know, because this raccoon city virus, coronavirus, what that's doing is they saying now it's contaminating the money. All right, so the plan is all the money that's coming back to America, they want to quarantine. The real reason why the money is coming back to America because other nations aren't using it. The dollar is about to crash. The dollar was set to crash more than likely this year, and this virus was released as a cover. They're going to cover up the crash of the dollar and go right to the digital currency, which is going to usher in the RFID chip. We'll finish there, which is the mark of the beast. And that's Revelation 13, 9, and 10. So we'll finish there. All right? So I don't want this camera to just die on me. He hold it off until I finish. Yeah, this is Revelation 13. I'm going to start at verse 15. And it reads, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image should be killed. So by not taking that chip, the RFID chip, you may be put to death, or that they're going to starve you out. All right? Because forced quarantines are coming, just like in that television, that Netflix show Containment. Just what they did up in Rochelle, New York. You know, That's exactly what they did in that story from Netflix. All right, they quarantine off a 4-mile radius, and they stacked up rail cars 3 stories high and put military guys on top and post. So anyone approached it or tried to come over, they got shot down. Simple as that. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and they put that chip right there, or they put it in your forehead. They got the machines in Walmart where you sit down and put your hand in it, or you lean up to it and put your head in it. So the Bible, the man of the Lord, is cold, man. Right, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which is the number of Esau, Edom. All right. Call the lawyer, how about Shema Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Shalom.